All right.
Right now, no changes in Tennessee.
None.
Yeah, same.
So everything's good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right now.
Okay. All right, we are joined by Oklahoma head coach Patty Gasso and players Sam Landry, Ella Parker, and Cassidy Pickering. A reminder to media members, please silence your cell phones. Give your name and media affiliation once you get the mic to ask a question. Recording press conference video with your cell phones prohibited. And if you want to ask a question on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Gasso, go to questions just for players. Players will be dismissed, and then go to questions just for Coach Gasso. So if you have an opening statement, go for it.
Wow. It's speechless when you're down there and when you're a team that is just struggling to find a way to get on base. And I thought Tennessee played outstanding, Pickens pitched outstanding. The one thing that we noticed, and I'll just be really honest, is I was watching people leave the game. And it was in the seventh, and I kind of shared that with the team. Not that that had anything to do with anything, but people thought we were done. And one thing, if you're watching us through the season, we're never done. You give us one extra strike or one extra pitch, and we're going to find something out of it. And usually Ella's on the end of that. So been really proud of her and those big moments of really locking it down, locking in, but you could feel that we were gaining a little bit of momentum. We started playing really good defense, getting those double plays and shutting them down when they had really big scoring opportunities. So we just needed to stay in the game as long as we could and give ourselves a chance, whether it's in the fifth, the fourth, or the seventh, or the ninth. As long as we have one swing left, we have life.
Okay, we'll start questions for players with the front row left here, James.
Okay, so Sports Radio. Just take us through the at-bat, Ella. It was such a great at-bat for you. And Cassidy, if you could talk about your at-bat, because you keep the inning going, but let's start with Ella first, please.
Just understanding just to keep passing the bat. I wasn't trying to make any moment too big. I thought all of our batters before that did a good job of just staying loose throughout the moment and not letting the moment get too big. And honestly, I looked at Maya Bland and she said, "God's got you. He's our fourth man in the fire." And I just stuck with it and ran with it, and we kept the faith until the end.
Yeah, throughout my whole at bat, I was just pass the bat, don't go outside yourself. Ella will have your back. So that was just what got me to it.
Okay, we go front row right now to Ryan.
Ryan Jones goes outside. Sam, a bunch of double plays up the middle infield, and especially there in the seventh. How big was that, and for you guys in the defense to keep battling, to keep it at one swing?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we work on double plays all the time, so they're fun to turn in a game, but they're definitely a momentum changer. So just having them there to change the momentum, keep it on our side. Basically the whole game was kind of on their side. So when we could take those moments and get it back in our dugout, it was a win.
Okay, we got front row left to Jenny.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Ella, it looked like you almost pulled the trigger on the first pitch of that last at bat. How close were you to that? And did you notice Patty dancing as you ran by her?
I honestly don't really remember the first pitch, but I just remember rounding the bases with my team's arms wide open and starting to get really teary-eyed and really emotional. And it was just really, really cool to have them with us this whole time. And we never got out of it. We kept the faith until the end. And just being able to run into them was like really, really, really awesome.
Hey, Sam, can I ask you real quick just about staying in the winner's bracket side of things? You get a day of rest now. I assume you'll be fully ready to go if Patty calls on you in a couple of days. But just sort of hanging in there after a rough first inning for you.
Not every pitch is going to go my way, but this team's amazing in everything that they do. So I trust them. I knew that. So I was telling Nellie before the game, she's not in here, but I was like, I just have a feeling about this game. Like something's going to happen. So between the double plays, Ella's hit 2 home runs, but just something about it. I knew that if I stayed locked in, they were going to come around. So I just kept them where I could.
Okay, we go second row on the far right.
Hi, Ella. Kayla with Anscape.com. Playing for a program like this, I imagine there's so many athletes that you look up to and can be inspired by. Can you talk a little bit about that? Maybe some players that you watched, and then you kind of being that person for all the young girls who are watching you.
I just think it was really cool to have all those players that I looked up to either in the dugout with me or right against the fence in the front row. And I think I looked at Jossie the last at bat, and I was like, we got this. So being able to finally be that, it just makes me really passionate about what's to come for our future and being able to pass that down to next generation.
Okay, we go second row on the left to Eli.
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Ella, you've spent part of the season dealing with an injury, but you've come on strong here in the back half over the last month. What over that stretch has worked for you so well or has had you so locked in?
Just learning more to invest in my teammates, and I think I know my teammates have my back, and I know I have theirs, and being able to really pour into them helped me kind of lock in. But just being able to have them and know that they're my backbone is something I started to learn a lot more about.
More questions for players? Okay, we go front row left to Eric.
This is for the players. Can you just kind of describe in your words what Sooner Magic is, and do you feel like you accomplished it today?
Sam, if you want to start, maybe go down the line.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start on that side and come down this way.
Okay, that's fine.
So basically, we're just so invested in each other and just knowing that, you're never out. Like Coach was saying, if there's one pitch left to play, we know we can take the game over. And just going to even to the seventh, Sam kept us in the game the whole time, but we all still had that faith that we weren't out yet.
It's just keeping the faith, like Cass said, just knowing that you're never out of it until it's over.
What they said. I'm just kidding. No, Sooner Magic, they say it a lot. Sooner Magic travels. So I think just knowing that wherever we go, we have such a big fan base, even when we were in California. So I think a lot of the Sooner Magic comes from the people that are out there supporting us. And then we're able to keep that within our team and give the glory to God.
More questions for players? Okay, one more second row right.
Okay, one more for you, Ella. I saw your family right before that at bat and just today kind of hugging each other. Can you talk a little bit about how they have inspired your journey?
My family's my number one support system. I started playing the sport because my older sister played, and I wanted to be exactly like her. So being able to have that moment and share that moment with them is so awesome to me.
Any more player questions? Okay, thank you, players. You're dismissed.
Thank you.
Oh.
You're dismissed. I'm waiting for Ella. You're dismissed.
Hello. All right, we'll start questions for Coach Gasso now and go to Ryan on the front row left here.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman. Patty, I know we've talked about this a couple times. Are you ever surprised at the way this team is able to stay locked in, even in these kind of situations? You talk about the SEC tournament against Arkansas, and other times you've been in these type of situations and come through.
Can hear them out there. It's still everybody is on a high here. This surprised me so much so that I lost myself for a minute, and I'm gonna probably regret that. But I felt it. I felt just we weren't so great today. I think they would tell you we were just kind of letting the early score kind of damper our spirits a bit, and we were, making uncharacteristic mistakes, things like that. But then once we scored, kind of felt something. We'd get a couple runners in scoring position, and it would kind of die out. So it was really getting frustrating. But there's something about this. We're so blessed on this platform. And these guys do have faith, and they believe in their abilities. And I mean, it surprised me today, but sometimes it just makes you smile. Like there's no way you just did that. So
what specifically is it about Ella that let her, perform that way in that kind of moment?
It's extreme belief in herself and extreme focus in what she's trying to do. I don't think she's up there trying to hit a home run. She's trying to make solid contact, and that's the good part of it. If she's trying to hit a home run, she'll pop it up a mile high. So it was just really setting herself up. She had already done it, so she kind of knew what she needed or what she was looking for. And it was a tough situation to pitch in as well, because you knew what was at stake. So I think Ella took a little advantage of that.
Okay, we go front row right over here to Jesse.
Jesse Crittenden, OU insider. Patty, along those lines, Ella's had obviously a lot of big moments through her first couple of years, but when you think about some of what she dealt with this year and the pain, some of those struggles, just what does a moment, having a day like this, really mean for her?
If you knew, and I won't share all of it, but this is a young lady that still is in pain, and you don't look at it and think, oh, she's swinging great. She has really taken a mental turn onto how to be there present for her team. When this is done, like right now, she feels nothing. None of us do. We're just kind of floating around here right now. But when we get back to the hotel, she's going to be hurting extremely. And she's been really handling it like no one I've seen. It's really, really been tough for her. But again, she really, truly says it from her heart. This is for the team. These guys have become very close, and they have felt, I don't know, they're just underdogs, but they never say that. They never say they're underdogs. They just think that people don't completely believe in them because they're so new to the program, and they just keep proving otherwise.
Okay, we'll go front row left here.
Tarek Monstry with the Norman Transcript. Patty, the way your defense played today, how rare is it to get some of those big plays, the double plays that you guys had with the team this young in this big moment?
They love defense so much that my shoulder, my knee, like everything's falling apart because we just have to hit them ground balls constantly. And they're all great hitters, but a lot of them, if you'd ask them what they like better, they'd say defense. They believe that, and I believe, defense wins championships. And we had our backs against the wall, and we're rolling double plays to get out of it and keeping ourselves in the game. Coach Roach is coming over and asking, I don't know, I think we might need to make a change. And we're just, a lot of things just keep us within 2 runs. And the defense did that. uncharacteristic mistake with pick, and she would tell you that. And I know she didn't feel great about that, but the infield and Hannah Core's play was an absolute momentum changer, and that really saved the game for us because they were about ready to go off. Those guys swing really, really well. But these primetime defensive plays brought momentum into our dugout.
Okay, we got front row left to Jenny.
Patty, I'll ask similar to what I asked Sam, the importance of winning an opener. You guys have won a championship, obviously not winning the opener, but the way this setup is, just how crucial, I mean, obviously you want to win everything at this stage, but how crucial did it feel like this was? And I don't know, maybe your experience, it's in your head differently than the players.
It is an absolute bear to try, almost impossible. And I remember that year, and I don't remember the year, but it was us in Florida, thank you, us in Florida State, losing our first games here and playing every game you could possibly play to get to the national championship game together in different brackets. So it is very, very difficult. It is exhausting to the point where you're like, I feel uncomfortable with how these players look. They're completely out of gas. Thankfully, we've added more off days. Winning the first game sets you up. It's really, really important. And I think this team doesn't even know that. We've talked about it, and they don't listen. They just do their thing. So now that they know they get a day off, they're going to celebrate harder than they did when the ball got hit over the fence. So they like their rest. So it's a big blessing for your team.
Okay, we go front row right to Ryan.
Ryan Chambers was say, Saturday after clinching the Super, you talked about clutchness. How do you find it? How do you foster it? How does it keep finding its way top to bottom on your roster?
I think you witnessed it right there. Again, it's just where your heart is, and your heart wants to do it for your team, for your program, maybe even for your coaches. Like you're bought in. You're bought in what you're doing, and you are going to do anything you can to do it the right way. And that's what I love about this team is that they'll sell out for you, and they don't care. They don't care what the score is. They'll just keep fighting until they get there, and they've proven that.
Okay, we'll stay on the front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. There's a lot made about pick and speed, but doing rise, drop, change. Just how hard is that to prepare for? And then how that goes with Ella hitting 2 home runs off someone who's only given up 6 all season.
Yeah, well, our preparation is almost ridiculous. I mean, we're putting up the machines at like 80 miles an hour. It's just, a machine can't even pitch that hard. So we're trying a little bit of everything. We were really trying to stay off the ball up and stay off the change-ups and just really try to attack early in the count. We drew some important walks, but I've not seen, nor have they seen speed like this, except from her. So it is tough. It's hard to train for, and you had a second part to that. Where did I get it?
How it goes with Ella hitting.
Oh, Ella. I call her a professional hitter. I think she's got a beautiful, pure swing, and she knows how to get there short. She can handle. She's someone, Pick can handle that speed. A couple others can, and others were trying to. So it just timed up, perfect timing, and that's just the blessings that we continue to get on this platform is amazing.
Okay, last one will be second row here.
Yeah, Chris Williams, Newsnet, Oklahoma City. Patty, was there a decision between maybe subbing out Sam Landry, and what went into that? And also, what were your discussions like with her throughout the game?
There was a little talk between Coach Rocha and I about KD, because KD had a pretty good go against them, and Sam just was falling behind in counts. So we were talking a bit, but we just she kept getting outs and started to get more ground ball outs for us later in the game. So stayed with that, and just conversations with her is just steady, stay steady, stay with it. How are you feeling? Oh, I get so mad. I get mad at myself. And I'm like, okay, bring it back, because pitchers don't want to let down their team. So it's emotions. Pitchers deal with a lot. They deal with a lot of that emotion, high and lows, and she gutted it out today.
All right, that'll wrap things up.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and put it over. We'll take them both down at the same time. Do we need an extra hook? Okay. Of course. Stream good? Okay.
Ready. All right, we are joined by Tennessee head coach Karen Weekly and players Taylor Panel, Sophia Nugent, and Laura Mueller. A reminder to please silence your cell phones and then give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. Recording of the press conference with your cell phones prohibited, and if you're on the Zoom and want to ask a question, please use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Weekly, then go to questions just for players, dismiss the players, and then go to questions just for Coach Weekly. So if you have an opening statement.
Obviously, that was a gut punch. I thought our team played really, really well. Proud of how we came out. We don't have time to feel sorry for ourselves. We got to be ready to play tomorrow, and that was what we just talked about in the locker room.
Okay, questions for players? Okay, we'll start front row left here.
Sophia, just kind of what's your immediate reaction to the loss, and what do you feel like happened late with the offense? You guys had been able to get things going early, and then seventh inning just couldn't capitalize with the bases loaded.
My immediate reaction was that we fought really hard and it didn't come out on our side. But, there's another day tomorrow. And for when it comes to runners, for offense, I think we were putting the ball into play. We just weren't cashing in on the runners on base.
Okay, we'll start front row on the left here.
Trevor McGee, the Daily Beacon for the players. How frustrating is it to have those double play balls there in those big moments? And how do you ensure that frustration doesn't linger into tomorrow in an elimination game?
I mean, it's going to happen. They have a very good defense, and sometimes you just hit the ball into their defense, and it works out for them.
Okay, we'll stay front row left here.
Sorry, Cora Hall with Knox News. Taylor, just what's kind of the biggest thing that you feel like you guys need to reset for tomorrow to make sure you guys, aren't out of here in 2 games?
I think just flush today. We were seeing the ball well at the plate. Things were just not going our way, and I think we're going to have a just flush today and just go out and focusing on playing Florida tomorrow.
Okay, we'll go second row to right here.
Noah Ram with the Gainesville Sun. On that note, just is there anything you guys could think of right now in particular to try to, because it is such a gut-punching loss and it's, to have to come back a day later, to change it? I mean, anything in particular you guys might try to do or just continue to, follow what you guys have done all season?
Yeah, I don't think much changes, if we're being honest. We've been in this position before, just losing a game and having to bounce back. The only difference is just being in postseason. And I think we had a great talk in the locker room of just, it stings right now, and we can let it sting for a minute, but to flush it right away because you don't have time to dwell on it.
Okay, we'll go front row left.
Sophia, until the last, inning, Carlin really shut down that offense after it looked like the first home run really kind of made her kick it into another gear. I don't know if it would kind of made her mad a little bit, but just what did you see from her today, and just how impressive was it that, again, like for most of the game, she really held one of the best offenses in the nation, hit like without much production?
I think that's really what Carlin is. She fights for us every single pitch, and she puts it all out on the line for us, and just her bringing that energy really helps us every single day.
More questions for players? Okay, thank you, players. You're dismissed. Questions for Coach Weekly? Okay, we'll go front row left.
Core Health, Knox News. Karen, what were you seeing from the offense today that obviously had a great start early, and just what did you kind of see in the seventh inning that you guys were able to capitalize and get some insurance runs?
Yeah, I thought overall we had a good plan, and for the most part, we were executing that plan. And we just had a couple situations, even before the seventh inning, where, we could have put another run or two on the board and given ourselves a little bit more of a cushion. Like Soph said, you're not trying to hit into a double play. Sometimes those things happen. It's a tough game, and hitting's the hardest thing to do.
Okay, we go front row right, Brady.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Carlin got into quite a few three-ball counts. Was that more kind of just kudos to OU's preparation? Was Carlin just throwing through her spin a little bit? I don't know what you kind of felt about that.
Well, I think it's a combination of things, and we had 4 walks. I think 3 of them might have been to lead off innings. So, we got ourselves in a couple jams. She worked herself out of a lot of jams. Part of it, I think you could see their game plan shifting a little bit to being more patient, trying to get more base runners on by not swinging the bat. But, it just comes down to execution.
Okay, we'll go second row left here to Eli.
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Karen, you spoke yesterday about the mentality that Carlin has developed. I'm curious where you saw that over those first 6 innings today while she navigated some trouble, and where you see that as you go into tomorrow, knowing that it's a must-win situation with her.
Yeah, you see the same thing out of Carlin all 7 innings. Carlin is as steady as they come. She's the ultimate warrior. 99 times out of 100, she wins that game, right? What I expect going into tomorrow from Carlin and this entire team is we've been here. We were here last Friday. We lost the first game to Nebraska. We go into Saturday morning, win or go home. We go into Sunday, win or go home. And that's the situation we're in right now. And, that's what I told them. I mean, we're playing Florida tomorrow, and one team's going home. And it's really going to come down to, which team can flush today the quickest and get their mind right for tomorrow.
Okay, we'll go to second row on the right here.
Coach, Noah Ram with the Gainesville Sun. Just talk about offensively, getting, especially early in the game, some good traction off Sam, and then how that could help, obviously tomorrow you'll, most likely face a very good pitcher in Keegan, and how that can help for tomorrow, knowing that you guys already here have beaten, early on beaten one of the better pitchers there is.
Yeah, it really was one of our better offensive performances, and I'm really proud of them for that. And the thing most people don't realize is how young our team is. Like, there is one person in our starting lineup that's a senior with 4 years starting in the SEC. That's it. Everybody else in that lineup either didn't play SEC for 4 years. Sophia Nugent, she's got 2 years playing every day under her belt, but before that, didn't get every at bat. We have a lot of freshmen. We've got sophomores that didn't play a lot last year. So I'm really proud of how they showed up here. I'm really proud they weren't phased. The environment didn't phase them. They knew that, I don't know how many this place holds, 10,000, that there were going to be 9,900 against them. That didn't bother them at all. So there's a lot of things to really be excited about and proud of.
Okay, we'll go front row left here.
Karen, was there any consideration into walking Parker there in the 7th with Oklahoma having the momentum?
Not really, because, it's 3-1. You have 2 runners on. And if you walk her, that means you put the winning run on base. So you have to make a decision there. The key thing in that inning was Agbayani, drawn a walk. You look at that and strategy-wise, you're like, okay, we can get through this inning and get out of here without ever rolling the order back around to the top. And when you walk her, you know that you're going to face Pickering and Parker again.
Okay, we go back to the front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just obviously have to get through tomorrow, but how big is it knowing that Sage has also thrown really well this postseason?
Oh, huge, especially right now. Sage has had some really good outings starting back to Ole Miss series. Great game against them, great game against Texas A&M, great game against Ohio State. We've put the ball in her hands in big situations, and she's come through for us.
Okay, we'll go front row left.
Speaking of some of your youth, Ella Dodge went deep into every at-bat she had today. She got 2 walks out of it. Just what does that say about her maturity as a freshman to do that in this game? And how did she learn how to slide like that?
Ella is, we call her Pigpen because she's the dirtiest one at practice. Ella is going to fight and scratch and claw to do anything she can on the softball field. The girl absolutely just loves playing. What I was really proud of was her first at bat wasn't real good. She got herself in a 3-1 count and chased something high, and we would have drawn a walk there and kind of kept the inning going even a little bit more. But she bounced back right away. Her next 2 at bats were fantastic, and when you can see a freshman do that, that's pretty cool.
Okay, we have time for 2 more. Front row right, Eric.
Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. Can you talk a little bit about just the pregame scout of Ella Parker and just maybe the swing she had today?
She's a great hitter. Great hitters make adjustments, and Oklahoma is one of the best at making adjustments as the game goes along. I think the first one she hit out, I think we just kind of missed our spot in that situation. The last one I think was a changeup, I'm pretty sure, but they're just really good hitters, especially her and Pickering at the top of the order. The more times they face you, the more information they have, the more adjustments they're going to make, and they're tough to beat.
Okay, last question, second row left
Yeah,
here.
Coach, News 9 here in Oklahoma City. Obviously, Oklahoma has loads of talent every year, but even when the faces and names change, the moments seem to continue. Is there anything tangible about this program other than just the talent that allows them to continue to do things like this that you've noticed?
Well, there's a lot of talent out there. I mean, they have some of the absolute best players in the country. Patty Gasso is a phenomenal coach. You don't win that many national championships without being an exceptional coach. And you also have 9,900 people on your side. So, it's an environment that you have to fight through. But I thought our kids did a really good job of that today.
Okay, that'll wrap things up. Thank you.